From the East Tennessee Weather Center, here's your evening weather update with meteorologist Mike Witcher.
It's turned out to be a pretty nice day around East Tennessee. Hi, everybody. Thanks for checking in on your evening weather update. I am meteorologist Mike Witcher, and we've seen a couple of showers, a couple of sprinkles here or there, some more than others. Most of us really haven't seen a whole lot of activity, and that's going to be changing a little bit as we get into the upcoming weekend. So let's talk about it. Here are your weather headlines tonight. Mild and muggy conditions under mostly cloudy skies, a couple of lingering showers around the area. We've seen some pretty decent rain up across the Smoky Mountain National Park and also across the central and northern plateau, but again, not a lot of activity. Francine, or rather the remnants of Francine, will continue to bring us elevated rain chances into the weekend, but as we get into next week, more unsettled weather as another low-pressure system develops along the eastern seaboard, and it actually moves our way. I'll explain details coming up here in just a moment. First things first, let's talk about our evening forecast. It's mild, it's muggy, it feels good outside, but it does have a little bit of a warmer feel thanks to the higher humidity. 78 degrees here at 6, 73 at 8, and by 10 o'clock here tonight, we'll drop down to about 69 degrees. No thunderstorm activity necessarily, but just a couple of pockets of showers. You can see the big swirl in the atmosphere. We've got post-tropical cyclone Francine. Winds right now sustained at 25, gusting to 35, so not a major player and not a ton of moisture. But these little feeder bands, if you will, are the ones that we need to watch for as we head through the next couple of days, because you still have a low-pressure system, so you're still going to get that wraparound moisture, despite the fact that it's going to lose its tropical characteristics, I should say. And so, therefore, the National Hurricane Center won't be tracking that any longer. And that's basically through the overnight hours tomorrow. So National Hurricane Center is going to be done with this system, but then it just becomes a low pressure that's going to be lingering around the area. Still have some wind advisories hanging out across the region. For us here in East Tennessee, a wind advisory in effect until 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Winds sustained 20 to 30 out of the southeast, gusting to about 55 miles per hour. And again, across the mountains, we've seen a little bit more moderate rain showers, if you will. So I've said this over the last couple of days, more bark than bite on the radar, not just the radar that's actually happening, but of course the futurecast as well, because we've not seen this much activity. It looks way more impressive, and the reason why is, yes, it is going to be raining in the clouds, but not all of it reaches the surface because we have some very dry air entrained right here in the surface of the earth, and so therefore most of it's not going to be taking shape around the area, but still some scattered showers as that kind of lifts its way northward. As we head through the overnight hours, likely to be on the drier side, maybe a couple of pockets and rounds of showers as we get started on our Friday morning. But it's going to be mild, it's going to be muggy. We're going to drop down into the 60s to get the day started. So no sweatshirts necessarily as the kiddos head off to school early in the morning. And look at this, these afternoon high temperatures, just like what we saw on Thursday. Highs will be in the 70s and low 80s, thanks to the clouds and the rain showers that are going to be hanging out with us. So here's your Friday forecast. Again, the low-pressure system spinning its way across West Tennessee. That's just going to throw some moisture our direction with that southeasterly flow coming off the mountains. And so that's a warming, compressing wind. As the air rises up and over the mountains on the North Carolina side, it falls on the East Tennessee side. And so that's a warming, compressing wind. And so, therefore, it kind of shuts down the rain. We just don't see a whole lot. So I think the majority of the rain will be across the Western Valley, Cumberland Plateau, and the Southern Valley as we look forward over time. And you can clearly see that as we get into our Friday evening. Heaviest rain still going to be south of Interstate 40, lighter amounts north, and even lighter amounts upper East Tennessee and the Smoky Mountains. So not a ton of rain is anticipated. Now, dew point levels will stay elevated, and it is going to be rather unsettled. So while it's going to be mild, it is going to be muggy over the next several days. So here's the energy and spin associated with Francine Friday evening. But remember, I said there's another low-pressure system heading our way. Watch how this all plays out. This is in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, but this lets us know disturbances in the atmosphere. Here's Francine's disturbance. It kind of starts to weaken and fade away, but another low-pressure system is on the way. It's forming along the coastal areas of the Carolinas. The National Hurricane Center is watching this as an area of investigation, and it's going to retrograde, moving east to west thanks to high pressure to our north, and just kind of wobble and meander around the southeastern U.S. And so that is going to bring us elevated rain chances, or rather unsettled weather. We're not talking about a total washout. We're not talking about drought-busting rain by any stretch of the imagination, just more clouds, cooler than average temperatures, and the opportunity for some scattered rain chances. But when you look over the next 7 days, East Tennessee will see anywhere from a quarter to upwards of 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. But outside of the area, we'll get a lot more than that just based on our geographic location and how the winds are flowing over the mountains and over the plateau. It just doesn't appear that we're going to get a whole lot of activity. As I mentioned, temperatures are going to be trending below average. Average high is 84, cutting it in the middle. That's Knoxville. But again, a little bit warmer in Chattanooga, a little bit cooler across the plateau and Tri-Cities. Just general idea, we are going to be trending below average over the next 7 days. However, Climate Prediction Center says, wait a second, let's get these disturbances on out of here. A ridge builds its way back in, and we may be warmer than average through the end of the month, or close to anyways. If you're heading off doing some tailgating on Saturday, kickoff at 7:45 Saturday night. Of course, the tailgaters will be out there around noon. We're going to be right around 77 degrees. Then we'll see those temperatures fall back down into the low 70s as we get into the kickoff hour and game time. Maybe a couple of spotty showers. I'm not anticipating a whole lot of activity. Of course, you can track it with the East Tennessee Weather app. It's your one-stop shop for weather right here in East Tennessee. It is East Tennessee Weather. Search that in your app store, and you'll find the orange tin and the white lightning bolt. Download it. It's 100% free, and it gives you everything you need to know for weather right here at home in our own backyard. No nonsense, all weather, all the time. Have a great night. Don't forget to join us for Wake Up with Witcher, starting off at 7 o'clock in the morning on our finally Friday. Oh, that sounds so nice, doesn't it? I will be leaving town on Friday. I'm going to be heading to Dallas, Texas, but I will still keep the platform updated. I'm heading to the National Weather Association's annual conference. It's actually in Irving, Texas. But yeah, tomato, right? Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.